You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA crew is back for another fun and exciting block. Maybe a few hot takes in this block, as we had last week. As Nijee said, the Knicks may make the playoffs. But joining me today on this block, we have Danny, Nijee, Tristin, and Justis. Gentlemen, let's just get right into it. And this is going to go to Tristin first, since he's a Knicks fan. Derrick Rose is, again, a member of the New York Knicks. He is reunited with Tom Thibodeau. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to the Pistons. Is this transaction going to do anything for the Knicks? Maybe the playoffs, because I think they're the 9th seed now. Tristin, I know that makes you a little bit happy.
They're only a game behind of that 8th seed spot. I like the Derrick Rose trade. I think it's a little odd, but Dennis Smith wasn't playing, so at the end of the day, it's not like you're losing a crazy asset, and it's a second-round pick of all things. So it's really like it could have been worse in all reality. Derrick Rose offers the Knicks a point guard who can handle the ball and kind of penetrate to kind of break down the defense a little bit, kind of dish it back out for an open three if it's available, or maybe get it to a cutting Toppin or Mitchell Robinson. Emmanuel Quickly also offers that. So that being said, I hope they don't cut more minutes from Quickly. Personally, I think he should have a little more. But I'm okay with the concept of Derrick Rose kind of taking the mentor role, showing him how everything works, giving him some advice on how this could go down. The playoffs to me are still a little. It's a dream. I think it's okay to dream, but if they don't make it, I'm not going to sit here sad because I'm fully expecting them to still miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because I kind of think that Tom Thibodeau ruined Derrick Rose's career with all the minutes that he logged in when he was in Chicago. So Justis, and you saw this even when he was in Minnesota when Thibodeau was there too. He was still playing them 40 minutes a game. So what do you think? What do you think the relationship between those two are going to be like?
I think that they have a good relationship, but obviously that is going to be a big question mark for that team. I'm 50-50 with this trade, because when you get Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr., a second rounder, no matter what situation you're in, that's a win. But at the same time, like Tristin said, I'm really worried about taking minutes away from Emmanuel Quickly, because one of the bright spots of this season, and the reason why they're doing well, is because of Emmanuel Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly has been great, and I think that their focus shouldn't be making the playoffs. Their focus should be developing their young talent, because I think that they'll be in the playing games, not sure if they'll make the playoffs, and even if they do, they're getting swept by Philly or the Nets or whoever's going to be the number 1 seed. So I would have preferred Derrick Rose to go to a playoff contender, or not playoff contender, a championship contender. So this trade kind of confused me, but we'll see what happens.
It's going to be very interesting to see. Nijee, you did say that the Knicks may make the playoffs this year if the Heat don't get in.
Yeah,
a week's gone by. Now Derrick Rose is there. Are you still going to stand by that?
Of course. I don't know how Tristan is a so-called Knicks fan if he's saying like he have no hopes of making the playoffs. Like, and okay, before D Rose,
I've been through a lot, man.
Before D Rose came, I could see them making 8th seed, 7th seed. Now that he here, man, I could see him almost hitting the 5th seed. Maybe.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I'm saying 5th seed, but hold on. Don't get it wrong. I can see the Knicks hitting 8th seed and making some noise in the playoffs. But other than that, that's what I feel like now.
I like it. He's doubling down. I love it.
I respect it.
Nijee?
I'm glad that somebody has some form of like positivity here.
Najee, the only noise the Knicks are going to be making the playoffs is them starting their cars and driving home. They're not making any noise. You know what, Najee? I hope you're correct, and I hope that the Nets play the Knicks the first round. That's what I hope. I hope
Knicks in 7.
That'll just anger me.
Oh, before we go on, Danny, what is your thoughts on this trade?
I mean, it's nice to see Tibbs and D Rose back together. Taj is also on the team, so it's almost like a little Bulls reunion. In terms of playoff chances, honestly, they probably would have made him without the trade, because considering the 10th and 9th seed are like kind of open for like playing games, so they would have like made it in regardless. But in terms, it might like boost them slightly. Justis and Tristan made a good point about like cutting the development of Emmanuel quickly. He's been having a really nice season off the bench and as a rookie. But I mean, it might boost him up to like the 8th or 7th seed. But honestly, that's the ceiling I see for the Knicks at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Go ahead, Tristin.
I was gonna say I agree 100% there.
And look, it's going to be hard for the Knicks to get in. It's been a long time, and I know Knicks fans all around are waiting for it. Now, if we were in the Eastern Conference, let's go over to the West. The Los Angeles Lakers are currently sitting at number 2 in the West, but they've been in a lot of close games recently. Anthony Davis is having some displeasures with an Achilles injury. That's a little scary for me. But then the Lakers have been in 3 straight overtime games, and LeBron James is 36. He's logging in at least 35 minutes a game. Danny, should the Lakers be concerned? We talked about this last week, but health-wise, do you think the Lakers should be concerned? Because that Achilles thing, that's very sad news for me. Even though I know it's not serious, but I just don't like that Achilles with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, as a Lakers fan, the situation right now, I mean, like I said before, there should be like a slight concern. Honestly, I'm bump it up to like a little worried because of just like the Achilles injury kind of thing. I know like he's not going to be like, they're going to treat him well. They're going to monitor him, all that. But like we saw what happened to Kevin Durant, like almost, I would say 2.5 years ago in that finals against Toronto. They forced him back in and then look what happens. His Achilles goes out. So I don't see that happening because it's the regular season right now. But with him out, it increases LeBron's minutes and the onus on him. And the fact that there's a shortened off season and he's 30, he's not getting younger. He's 36 and playing these heavy minutes. So it's going to have some wear and tear on his body. So overall, I'm a little more worried than I was back then.
Nijee?
Yeah, I could say I'm worried because they had a short off season, like 71 days of off season is not really good for any team. And also they played 3 back-to-back overtimes against against 2 teams that not really supposed to make it deep into the playoffs. That's what I'm worried about. And like we all say LeBron 36, and we all make a joke about like he thinks he could play forever. Yeah, at 36, but age always win. So all that overtime and all that minutes clocked in, LeBron gonna need a rest. And if he don't get any rest anytime soon, I'm worried that he might start breaking down the playoffs.
That would be sad to see because he's still playing some great basketball at 36, man. Dude's an anomaly. I got to give it to him. He definitely is an anomaly. Tristin, what are your thoughts on this?
I think Nijee hit the nail on the head right there. At the end of the day, Father Time's going to catch up, and you can't do anything about it. LeBron is still playing at an extremely high level for being 36-year-old, so I'm not too worried about it. But that's something you do have to take into consideration. An Achilles injury, regardless of how serious it is kind of different for everybody. The good thing is that it's not, ruptured. I think he'll be all right. There should be a little concern. I'm not too worried yet. OT games happen. Back to back OT
3 in a
games.
row now. That's a little different.
But I'm not too concerned. Everybody has their days, Everybody, these are professionals, you know what I mean? These are guys that can come out and anybody can win at any given moment. So I'm not too worried about the back-to-back OT games.
Justis, close us out.
I do think the Lakers should be kind of worried. Anthony Davis was able to stay relatively healthy last playoffs, even though, we did see him dealing with a little injuries. But he has a history of injuries in his career. So I do think that the back-to-back OT games is an issue for LeBron. LeBron is tired and fatigued. He's voiced his displeasure about, having an all-star game this season. I think that the Lakers lack a solidified third star to the point where one of their stars gets hurt, they need someone to pick up the slack. So I think that guys like Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma, I think, need to step up a little bit, take a bigger role, maybe let LeBron sit a little bit. But I think that, I think they'll be there. The 80 injury doesn't sound too concerning. So I expect them to be in the finals still.
Yeah, I really hope so too. A 2P would look nice because I've seen some titles. I like seeing a 2P in my older age. But let's get to a more serious topic. The NBA announced that all teams must play the national anthem before every game. Mark Cuban's been doing this for I think most of the season. He didn't play any national anthem. It got out. It caused a lot of ruckus. I'll just start with we've had a lot of talks about the national anthem since 2016 and what Colin Kaepernick's done. So it's such a slippery slope. And the whole thing with me is we don't play the national anthem before our show. The national anthem shouldn't be played everywhere. It's just not for everything. It's just my opinion though. But people go to work, they don't play the national anthem when somebody punches in. So I just don't understand it. The floor is y'all, so I just really don't understand it.
Yeah. Oh no, get ahead, Tristin.
I was just going to keep it simple. Hopefully it doesn't sound insensitive. I know I said it before. Samory, you said the same thing. You just said right before we started this. I personally don't care. At the end of the day, I'm there to watch basketball. I'm there to enjoy the games. I'm here to see these young players develop. But it's true. You don't play the national anthem for a job interview. You don't play it when you get into work. You're not like if I were to ever run into somebody just casually listening to the national anthem, like in a car or something, I'd be a little thrown off. I don't think this is something they should be punished for. And it doesn't seem like there's any serious punishment, but it almost seemed implied that if there was no compliance here, that there might be, which I'm not a fan of. But at the end of the day, I just want to watch basketball.
Justis?
I would have to agree with you, Tristan. I don't really care that much about the national anthem either. And I think we've seen, these past couple of years, it's not really much about the national anthem. I think it's more about fighting for equality that get some people upset for some weird reason. But at the same time, there are people that do care about the national anthem. And I know that the national anthem has, become, it's kind of accustomed to playing before sports games. So just to, kind of appease everyone, I think that you should play the national anthem before games, but at the same time, I don't think the team should force you to stand for the national anthem, because I think that that's also something that the NBA, they had it until last season. So I think just to, kind of make everyone happy, I think they should play the national anthem, but if you don't care, about the national anthem, or you think that there are problems with this country that you don't feel like standing for, you shouldn't have to stand.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
I have a quick question before we go.
Go ahead.
How many I don't like it's probably in this little thing. Out of four of y'all, how many of y'all like listen to the national anthem before a game? Before any game, any kind of game. Like not a lot of people listen to the national anthem before the game. A lot of people click in right before tip off, right before the kickoff, anytime before right before the game starts, they tune in. So I feel like the national anthem, we have it, but like nobody really listening to it unless they did 15 minutes before the game and they at the stadium. So I feel like if you won't have the national anthem, at least have it at the Olympics where where it matters. Yeah, where it really matters, and that's our nation being like represented. But at an NBA game where like not a lot of people watching the anthem already, you come in late, you watching your team play, you're not there for the anthem. So I feel like if it's like I feel like the owners the owners is their decision if they want to play it or not. And then after that, it's the players' decision if they want to stand for it or not. So
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like if we're going to have it, okay, we can have it. But if we don't want to have it and like the owner don't want to play it, so be it. He owned the place.
Yeah, and Danny, before we go to you, the most interesting thing is there's no fans this year. So to me, that's more incentive to not play it. Who's standing for it? If it's just team people, the trainers, the players, what's the point in it? What's the point in it? But Danny, finish us off.
Yeah, to keep it short, just for you guys are like 4 for 4. I'm gonna make it 5 for 5 right now. It's not the end of the world if national anthems are being played or not. Honestly, it should just be a choice. If you want to have it or if you don't want to have it, it's fine either way. I mean, most people for us in general, we're not like too offended by like the national anthem being played or not, like being played or not being played. That's basically it.
Yeah. Solid block today, guys. You guys have been very consistent. Makes me smile every time we hop on an NBA block. But season's moving along fast. It's gonna be fun to see everything that even the stuff with the national anthem and what players getting better. It's gonna be very fun to see how this NBA season comes out. But to go from what's going on now to the end, the NFL season is done and over with, and the guys in the NFL crew, they are gonna crown the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as champions. Stick around here on WPET.